In this video, we're taking a look at the top Xbox Series XXS games released in 2024, according to MetaCritic. Alright, let's dive right in. Hidden Through Time 2. Myths and Magic is a relaxing puzzle game where you search for hidden objects in 4 different time periods. Medieval fantasy, Greek mythology, Arabian Nights, and the 80s. The game has a cute hand-drawn art style and lets you explore detailed worlds full of things to find. The game stays the same at its core, but each time period brings something unique. For example, the fantasy levels have fun references to The Witcher and Lord of the Rings. There's also a cool feature called Reality Shift, where you can change the time and weather to find new objects and change how the puzzles work. As you play, the puzzles get harder, but you can use hints if you get stuck. The game also lets you create your own maps and explore different time periods, which makes it fun to play again and again. If you enjoy relaxing, creative puzzle games, Hidden Through Time 2 Myths and Magic is a fun and charming choice. Next we have Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake, where you control 2 brothers at the same time using both sticks on your controller. They go on a journey to save their sick father. The unique part is that you control both brothers at once, which may be hard at first, but the game teaches you how to do it without making it too tough. The remake has better graphics and cutscenes, but some things, like the tone and how the characters speak, feel a bit off. Still, the story and the way the brothers communicate without words make the game special. It's a creative and emotional experience that's worth playing, even if you're just picking it up now. INDIKA is a story-driven adventure where you play as INDIKA, a Russian Orthodox nun on a mission to deliver a note to a monastery. The game takes place in a strange and unsettling world, inspired by Russian literature and film with dreamlike, eerie environments. Instead of traditional combat, the gameplay focuses on solving puzzles, platforming, and escaping danger. The main story is about INDIKA's personal struggles, including feelings of doubt, guilt, and the influence of her alter ego. Flashbacks and pixel art reveal her past, adding depth to her journey. While INDIKA impresses with its atmosphere and deep themes, the gameplay can feel simple and limited. The story's unclear narrative and dark tone may leave players with more questions than answers. Its short, linear structure might not appeal to everyone, but if you enjoy atmospheric games with a challenging, unsettling story, INDIKA offers a memorable experience. Planet Coaster 2 improves on the first game by giving players more ways to customize their parks. There are now water rides and better terrain editing, which add new fun to designing your park. The game is great for decorating, with lots of pieces to choose from and easy-to-use tools for building rides. But when it comes to managing the park, Planet Coaster 2 has some issues. The game's money and staff management systems are still too simple, and ride maintenance doesn't work very well. This makes the game feel more like a park design simulator than a real tycoon game. The sandbox mode is a big plus, giving you unlimited creativity, but the lack of challenge in running the park might not be for everyone. In short, Planet Coaster 2 is a great game for creative players, but if you want a deeper management experience, it might not be enough. Paper Trail is a puzzle game with a cool idea. You fold the screen like paper to create new paths. You play as Paige, a girl with space-bending powers trying to leave her seaside town. The game looks amazing, with beautiful colors and a relaxing vibe at the start. But as you play, the puzzles get harder and can feel repetitive. There's a hint system, but using it too much can make the game less fun. The folding mechanic is clever at first, but starts to feel annoying, even during story scenes. The writing has some funny and emotional moments, but long monologues and sudden tone changes hurt the story. If you love tough puzzles, this might be for you, but for others it could feel more frustrating than fun. Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition is a great way to play this classic game again. You control Jade, a photojournalist who gets involved in a political conflict with her friend Paige. The game is set in a semi-open world where you can do combat, stealth, and take photos. The game has a unique art style, great music, and fun characters. One cool thing is the way the game shows information, which feels natural and part of the world. However, the combat can feel a bit stiff, and it's not always easy to figure out where to go because there's not much guidance. Still, for fans of the original game, this edition is a nice trip down memory lane. It also comes with extra behind-the-scenes content. The game works well on modern platforms with options for better performance and resolution. But the loading screens between areas can break the flow a bit. In short, it's a great game for fans, but it might not attract many new players. Warhammer 40,000. Space Marine 2 is an exciting return to the Warhammer universe after over 10 years. It's a third-person shooter that mixes intense gun and melee combat with the deep Warhammer 40,000 story. The campaign lasts about 12 hours with fast missions, beautiful locations, and fierce Tyranid enemies. The gameplay feels smooth yet powerful, giving you lots of weapons and abilities to handle any fight. You can also play co-op with friends, which is much better than using AI teammates. The Operations mode adds co-op missions and lets you customize your Space Marine, though it doesn't have much replay value. There's also a PvP mode called Eternal War, which could bring more fun after launch. In short, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2 is a thrilling, action-packed game that looks amazing and is perfect for fans of the series and action shooters. Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 offers an exciting campaign, thrilling multiplayer, and classic zombies mode. The campaign, set in the early 90s, continues the story of the Cold War with stealth and action-packed missions. You can upgrade abilities and enjoy smooth mechanics like sliding and diving. But the online-only mode can disrupt progress if your connection drops. Multiplayer includes 16 new maps, satisfying gunplay, and dynamic movement, though issues like bad spawn points and no ranked mode can be frustrating. Zombies mode features 2 maps, Terminus for experienced players and Liberty Falls, which is beginner-friendly. Weapons feel great with upgrades, but solo players may struggle with overwhelming elite spawns. The game shines with high-quality graphics and sound, but has minor drawbacks like matchmaking issues and the online-only campaign. Dragon Ball Sparking. Zero blends old-school fun with modern fighting game features. It's perfect for Dragon Ball fans, but it has a few frustrating parts. The menus are old-fashioned, and there aren't many training options, which can feel outdated compared to other games. However, the game does a great job recreating Dragon Ball's fast-paced battles, with exciting Ki blasts and character transformations. One of the best features is the large roster of over 180 characters, each with their unique moves. But some characters are much stronger than others, which can unbalance the gameplay. The branching story mode is also interesting, with new what-if scenarios to explore. You can also create custom battles, adding a fun twist. The online play is solid, but local multiplayer is a bit limited. Sparking. Zero offers a fun Dragon Ball experience with room for improvement in progression and customization. Still, Wakes the Deep is a gripping, story-driven horror game set on an offshore oil rig in 1970s Scotland during a violent storm. Developed by the Chinese Room, known for games like Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, it features stunning visuals, excellent voice acting by Alec Newman and Neve McIntosh, and a haunting soundtrack by Jason Graves. The game is about 6 hours long, offering a mix of action, suspense, and eerie moments. Players must survive with no way to fight back against the threats, relying on stealth and exploration. The game's pacing is well balanced, and the atmosphere keeps you engaged throughout. However, the short length, lack of combat options, and no checkpoint system may be drawbacks for some. If you enjoy immersive, narrative-driven horror, Still Wakes the Deep is definitely worth playing, but you might want to wait for a sale due to its brevity. Cat Quest 3 is a fun and fast-paced RPG that takes you on a high-seas pirate adventure. The game stands out with beautiful water graphics and well-designed islands. The gameplay is solid, with a loop that keeps you exploring, battling enemies, and uncovering secrets. The transitions between islands are quick, and the pace of the game feels engaging without slowing down. While side quests are rare, they're all unique and reward you with great loot. Ship upgrades also add some depth to the game. However, the main story and certain characters like Captain Cappy could use more depth and charm. Combat can feel a bit unbalanced at times, especially with certain equipment. Despite these flaws, Cat Quest 3 still offers a satisfying experience with thrilling combat, unique side villains, and clever RPG mechanics. It's a fun adventure that's definitely worth checking out. Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess is a unique action strategy game set in a mystical, ancient Japan. In the game, you play as So, who protects Yoshiro, a maiden on a mission to purify villages and fight off evil spirits called Seethe. The story is told without much dialogue, but still draws you in with its quiet moments and emotional connections between characters. The gameplay mixes strategy and action. During the day, you gather crystals, save villagers, and place them along a path to protect Yoshiro. At night, you defend her from the Seethe. The game lets you change what each villager can do, which adds a fun layer of strategy. As you play, new challenges and enemies keep things interesting and difficult. The game has beautiful art with detailed monsters and environments inspired by Shinto traditions. It's a fun mix of strategy and action with a unique story and gorgeous visuals. Dragon Age. The Veilguard is a game that brings new energy to the series while keeping what fans love. The game focuses on action, great visuals, and strong character stories. Set in northern Thetis, it doesn't have the big open world of past games but uses smaller, more focused levels like Knights of the Old Republic. The combat is fast but still tactical, letting you pause and give commands. What stands out are the companions, with each having their own unique story that feels important to the game. The plot has some familiar elements but also surprises you with twists and big choices, especially in the ending. Even though it moves away from the past games' story, the Veilguard gives a satisfying and emotional end to the series. BioWare has brought back the magic of their older RPG games, and fans are excited about the future of Dragon Age. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, takes you on a globe-trotting adventure filled with puzzles, tomb raids, and beautiful environments. The first-person perspective makes exploring and solving puzzles feel immersive, though the stealth mechanics aren't perfect. Combat is inspired by games like Wolfenstein with solid mechanics, though the revolver handling could be better. The game shines with its detailed environments, clever puzzles, and an amazing musical score. The voice acting is also excellent, bringing the characters to life. While combat can feel a bit simple at times, the game offers different difficulty levels and side missions to extend the fun. In short, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a perfect mix of nostalgia and fresh gameplay, making it a must-play for fans. Dragon's Dogma. 2 feels more like a polished version of the first game than a brand new sequel. It keeps the best parts like the exciting combat, open-world exploration, and its mysterious fantasy world. But it also brings back some downsides like a steep learning curve and chaotic battles that can feel confusing. The game is tough but rewarding. You'll face hard enemies and limited fast travel options, so you'll need to plan your moves carefully. The main story isn't very memorable, but the side quests, hidden secrets, and character interactions make the world feel alive. The pawn system is back and improved. You can borrow AI companions from other players, but sometimes they don't fight well in battles. The combat is the highlight of the game. Fun, detailed, and physics-based, but there aren't many good tutorials, so it can be tricky at first. While the game has microtransactions, they don't affect how you play much. If you like the first one, you'll enjoy this, and it has its unique charm in the RPG world. Persona 3 Reload is a reimagined version of the classic RPG, blending turn-based combat, dungeon crawling, and social simulation. You play as Makoto, a transfer student who joins SEs to investigate the mysterious Dark Hour and battle powerful creatures known as shadows. The game features dynamic combat with Persona Fusion, allowing you to create stronger allies by combining different personas. Outside of battles, you'll balance school life, form relationships, and even go on dates, with these interactions boosting your combat ability. Exploration takes place in the massive Tartarus dungeon, which can feel repetitive but offers rewarding progress. The game also features an unforgettable soundtrack, with tracks like It's Going Down Now and Color Your Night, adding to the experience. Persona 3 Reload is perfect for fans of deep, story-driven RPGs looking for a mix of strategy, social interaction, and dungeon exploration. Botany Manor is a cozy puzzle game where you play as Arabella Green, a retired botanist. Your goal is to grow magical plants and fill a herbarium book. The game is set in an English manor in 1890, and it mixes real science with fun, unusual gardening methods, like using lightning or Morse code to grow plants. As you solve puzzles, you find clues around the manor that tell the story of Arabella's life and her struggles as a woman in science. The story is simple, but the puzzles are interesting and fun. The game lasts about 6 hours and it can feel repetitive, but the different plant puzzles keep it fresh. The manor's vintage design adds to the relaxing atmosphere. In short, Botany Manor is a calm and enjoyable game with cool plant-growing mechanics and a charming setting. Unicorn Overlord is a tactical RPG set in the large world of Fevrith. You play as a prince trying to take back his throne. The game stands out because battles happen directly on the open world map, with different terrains like grasslands, deserts, and forests affecting your strategy. The combat is tricky but fun. You control units with unique abilities, and where you place them is very important. You'll also need to think about type advantages and how different character classes work together. The game has a system for customizing tactics and building relationships with your characters, like in Fire Emblem. The art in Unicorn Overlord is beautiful, with hand-painted visuals and smooth animations. The story is about a prince trying to free his kingdom, but it's made more interesting with great character development and voice acting. Even though the game can be long and complex, it keeps players hooked with exciting battles and character interactions. It's a game that gets better as you play, offering deep strategy without being too hard to understand. Next, we have Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This game brings back the magic of the Sands of Time and mixes it with a 2D Metroidvania style. The platforming and combat are both great, with tight controls and fast, stylish action. Combat is fun, focusing on combos, reactions, and dodging enemy attacks, while the platforming is tough but rewarding. The story follows Sargon, a brave warrior who needs to rescue a kidnapped prince. The plot can be a little confusing and some parts feel unfinished, but the gameplay, boss battles, and level design make up for it. The photo system that tracks your progress is a cool feature. Most of the voice acting is good, but one character uses a text-to-speech program, which stands out in a bad way. In short, The Lost Crown is a fast, fun, and polished game that brings the series back to life. Next, we have Neon White, a fast FPS game that mixes parkour, combat, and a card system. You need to use limited weapons and ability cards to defeat enemies and complete levels as fast as you can. The controls are smooth and easy to learn, making the game fun to play, especially if you love speedrunning. The story has a quirky cast of characters and feels like a visual novel, but it can get a bit distracting. Still, the action and level design are fantastic, offering a fun and addictive experience. Neva is a deeply emotional and visually stunning adventure that stands out with its hand-drawn 2D art, evocative music, and seamless animation. Developed by Nomada Studios, the team behind Grizz, Neva evolves its artistic style into something even more tangible, creating a world full of both beauty and peril. The atmosphere is rich and immersive, and every action feels significant. The story, told without dialogue, is centered around themes of nature's death and rebirth, reminiscent of Princess Mononoke. As the seasons change, the game reflects these cycles of life, with each season evoking different emotions through both its art and music. The emotional core of the game lies in the evolving bond between the protagonist, Alba, and her companion, Neva, a unique dog-deer hybrid. While the gameplay focuses on simple combat with a 3-hit combo system and some platforming puzzles, the true strength of Neva lies in its emotional narrative and atmospheric world. The game is short, with a playtime of just around 3 hours, but its impact is long-lasting, making it a must-play for anyone seeking a brief yet profound journey. Destiny 2. The final shape wraps up the game's long story with a great ending. It adds cool new features like the prismatic subclasses, which let players customize their abilities. A new enemy faction, the Dread, also brings fresh challenges to the game. The new raid, Salvation's Edge, is one of the toughest and most rewarding activities Bungie has made. While the story can be confusing at times, it makes the Witness a strong final villain. Even though Destiny 2 still has some issues with its RPG systems and story, the final shape is a great expansion with new content, an epic ending, and better gameplay, making it one of the best in the series. Tekken 8 is the next game that has done a good job by keeping the best parts of the series while adding fresh features. The game sticks to its core mechanics, like movement and spacing, but introduces the heat system and recoverable health. The heat system boosts your attacks and lets you perform powerful combos, making every round more exciting. Characters with strong offensive skills will benefit the most from these changes. The training tools are excellent, with modes like Arcade Quest to help you improve step by step. The replay system lets you watch your matches and learn from them. For beginners, there's a special style control mode that simplifies moves, but it's not meant for competitive play. The game features both returning characters and 3 new ones: Victor, Azucena, and Reyna. There are also fun single-player modes like Arcade Quest and Super Ghost Battle. Online play has improved with better netcode, faster rematches, and crossplay support. Tekken 8 is perfect for both new players and longtime fans. Death Stranding. Director's Cut version makes the game easier with new features like a firing range, a buddy bot to help carry your cargo, and a cargo catapult for faster deliveries. These additions reduce some of the difficulty and repetition, but they also take away the challenge of navigating tough terrain with your cargo. While this makes the game more accessible for new players, it lessens the satisfaction of earning rewards. However, the PS5 version is still praised for being easy to play and is perfect for fans of the story and world of Death Stranding. Shin Megami Tensei Fi Vengeance is a new version of the 2021 game with some exciting updates. This version adds a new story, fresh characters, enemies, and quests. The Vengeance path brings a twist, focusing more on human characters with new playable characters like Yoko. The game still has the same tough RPG mechanics, but the new content makes it feel fresh. You'll also find a new area and dungeon to explore, while the game mostly keeps the original structure. The combat is still the same challenging turn-based system, where you have to exploit enemy weaknesses and manage your demon team carefully. Vengeance also adds a new feature called Demon Haunt for stat boosts and makes travel easier with Magatsu rails. While the revenge-focused story might not work for everyone, the game's atmosphere, music, and art design are still amazing. It doesn't drastically change the original, but with all the new content and improvements, Vengeance is a great choice for both returning players and newcomers. If you enjoyed the original or want a tough RPG, Vengeance is worth playing. Metaphor ReFantazio is an exciting RPG by Atlas. It mixes familiar ideas from Persona and Shin Megami Tensei with fresh new features. The game takes place in a world full of tough issues like inequality, racism, and religious abuse. The 80-hour story focuses on a magical election in a divided kingdom and shows how people can work together to bring hope and change. The gameplay is fun and easy to get into. The archetype class system and social elements are smooth, and the combat mixes turn-based strategy with real-time action. It's challenging, but also rewarding. The side quests are interesting and help you explore the world more. Visually, the game has a unique look, blending dark and creepy styles with beautiful environments. The music by Shoji Meguro adds to the atmosphere, making the game feel even more emotional. While the writing can sometimes feel repetitive, the message about humanity's ability to change is powerful. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth is set in a vibrant Hawaiian world, blending classic Yakuza street fighting with a new tactical turn-based combat system. It adds features like proximity-based attacks and team combos to make fights more exciting. The story follows Ichiban Kasuga and Kazuma Kiryu as they search for Kasuga's mother while uncovering a conspiracy. The game has strong humor, great dialogue, and memorable villains, including a mob boss voiced by Danny Trejo. The Hawaii setting is large and fun to explore, with familiar locations from past Yakuza games. The game keeps quirky enemies and strange situations that fans love. The job system from Yakuza Like a Dragon returns, with new classes for characters, and the game has smoother progression without hard difficulty spikes. However, the lack of adjustable difficulty in the first playthrough could be an issue for some players. With plenty of side content, Infinite Wealth is a must-play for Yakuza fans. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is an incredible DLC that adds a whole new chapter to the base game. It's packed with challenges, secrets, and a massive world to explore. You follow the story of Miquella, a demigod, through the realm of Shadow. The game gives you gentle guidance but lets you explore freely. Hidden paths and surprises make every area feel fresh and rewarding. There are over 40 bosses, including 10 epic main battles, offering tough but fair challenges. The DLC also brings new weapons, spells, and abilities, giving you more ways to customize your character. Features like Erdtree fragments and Spirit Ash blessings keep things exciting while staying balanced. The art and story are stunning, pulling you deeper into the game's world. With over 25 hours of gameplay, Shadow of the Erdtree feels like a full game on its own. If you're a fan of Elden Ring, this is a must-play. Thanks for watching. Let us know your favorite Xbox Series XSS game of 2024 in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more gaming content. See you in the next video.